I have to be honest. There's a few developments going on across the NFL that make me a little nervous for the Diontae Johnson trade.
Go on.
T. Higgins and Brandon Ayuk are both not practicing.
Okay.
I think they are objectively better wide receivers than Diontae Johnson. And if they become available in a trade for something like, 80 cents on the dollar for someone else, and the Panthers can't be in on it because they're like, we already filled that role with Diontae Johnson, I'm going to be a little upset. But that's not to say Diontae Johnson can't still be a really good wide receiver for the Carolina Panthers. Matter of fact, he kind of has to be. And do you know why? It's for this reason. Diontae Johnson spoke to The Athletic. There's an article on him coming to Carolina and everything else. I have 3 quotes that I've written down in front of me that I'm going to read to you. The first is on his impact in the offense. Okay, this is Diontae Johnson talking about the way he believes he will impact the Carolina Panthers offense. It's big. They didn't really have guys to get open last year. So me being in this offense is a big impact for him, meaning Bryce Young, and the rest of the guys around him. We can all learn from each other, learn from Adam Thielen. Adam can learn from me. So those little things matter. Everyone getting on the same page, that goes a long way. I talk about this as a measure of greatness, where if you say you're great and no one thinks you're being an arrogant jerk, that's a mark of true greatness, right? Like if Tiger Woods casually in an interview said, in 2001, I played better golf than anyone's ever played. No one's going to be like, oh, this guy, look at how arrogant he is. Everyone's just going to kind of go like, okay, yeah, premise accepted. We all agree. Now what? Diontae Johnson said this about last year's Carolina Panthers. They didn't really have guys to get open last year. And I had to read the article to find out he said it. That wasn't clipped and put everywhere on social media. That wasn't talked about in every message board. That was just everybody went, yes, premise accepted. Now finish your thought.
Okay, factual statement.
They didn't really have guys to get open last year. Keep in mind, they did have wide receivers on the roster. And the only thing a wide receiver is there to do is to get open and catch passes. So to just factually and kind of matter-of-factly say, well, they didn't have guys to get open, so I'm here to be that guy, is a wild statement on what the Panthers had last season.
Don't forget, a couple of those guys are his teammates right now.
Yeah, I mean, he even mentioned Adam Thielen in the quote. So they didn't have guys to get open. They had the guys that, well, I guess he's saying maybe contested catch guys. He said everyone on the team was a contested catch guy. They're all jump ball threats is what he was saying there. But that is kind of what he's there to bring. A guy that can win on routes, man-to-man, good coverage. Can you get open? I mean, if Dave Canales calls the perfect play, so the X wide receiver is wide open like he smells funny and no one wants to stand near him, then there's high school wide receivers that could execute that, right? Just run the route and you'll be open. But it's when the defense calls a good coverage and the offense has a good play call and it comes down to who wins, that's Diontae Johnson. Jonathan Mingo can catch long touchdowns if it's schemed wide open. Play action, safety comes flying down to the line of scrimmage. Mingo can run right by him. Man-to-man coverage, you have a good corner on you. Can you get open there? That's Diontae Johnson. I also didn't know this, and Dennis, maybe you can elaborate on this because he's coming from the Pittsburgh Steelers, where you're a fan of the Steelers. You can sometimes tell a little bit about a player by the questions they're asked, and The Athletic really kind of pushed the envelope on Diontae. People have said you need to mature.
Yeah.
What do you think? I don't remember him being.
Oh.
I mean, I know he went like 5,000 catches without a touchdown. Was he when I think of the difficult wide receiver on the Steelers, I'm thinking George Pickens.
No, George Pickens is not the one. Diontae Johnson was the difficult one.
Okay.
That's the thing. Is I think that's one of the reasons why they moved on from him, because they feel like it was affecting Pickens. That's the reason why they moved on from him. So Johnson was the one that had the negative attitude sometimes, like, well, he wasn't getting the ball or things like that. Like, well, I'm just not going to block on certain plays. I'm just basically standing there. There's a fumble, but I'm not even paying attention or trying on this play. And I could jump on the loose ball and it ends up being a turnover. Those kinds of things that were impacting the Steelers' locker room.
All right, well, that's fair then.
And there's a reason why, as good as he is, as many catches as that guy has, that they were willing to part ways with him and not get a whole lot back.
Well, that leads to this next question. He like some of that was brought up to him, obviously in different terms, but he said, everybody's going to have their opinion of me. People are going to say what they want to say about me, but I know the type of player I am. I know what type of attitude I bring to the table. I didn't really pay attention to stuff like that. I can only control what I can control. What people are saying about me is their opinion. It's just words at the end of the day. I have to be honest on this one. I think your wide receivers need to be a little difficult. I think your wide, because here's why, and it's a mental game, right? And coaches have to look between the ears and try to see who they are as humans. What's a great day? Like a great statistical amount of catches
in a single game.
Yes,
I had a great day. 8
catches.
Okay.
Most offenses are getting 70 something plays.
Yeah, between 60 to 70.
Maybe 30 to 35 dropbacks.
Yeah.
So on a great day, you're getting 8 catches on 35 pass plays. That means an overwhelming majority of the time, you have to run hard. You have to run a great route. You have to do exactly all the effort things. Sometimes it's a deep route. You might have to run 40-something yards on a dead sprint while being hounded by the hand fighting of a defensive back, and you're not going to get the ball. Which is why wide receivers have to have that weird thing where they think they should always get the ball, because then they're going to run hard on every route because they think they're going to get it, even though there are certain plays pre-snap you know you're not getting it. We used to have these routes, our coach called them PRGs, position, release, goes. That meant decoy. That meant you're running a straight down the field, a go route, but you're not even a part of the progression. There would be wide receivers that come to the sideline telling me they were wide open on a PRG. I'm like, the name of the route means we're not throwing it to you. And they're coming back going like, well, I'm open, why wouldn't you? And it makes sense to me because I'm like, you know what? I love that you think I might, because you're running that position release go hard, right? Because you think you're going to score a touchdown on it, even though you are nothing more than a decoy. I want Diontae Johnson to demand the ball. I want him to think every time he doesn't have 8 catches, it's a terrible day. I want him in the quarterback's face mask. I just want him to also recognize that Bryce Young can tell him to get the heck out of my face mask. This is my offense. Shut up and be quiet. My best wide receivers were the most annoying wide receivers. And a lot of them are the ones I still keep in touch with today. Less annoying when I don't control whether they get the ball or not. Last one here for you. Diontae Johnson was asked if he's still expecting to be the number 1 read on most plays, even after the Panthers drafted Xavier Legette in the first round. He said, this goes right into it. Yeah, most definitely. Obviously, they drafted him to be a big part of this offense as well, so I'm sure they're going to do what they got to do to get him the ball, but I'm just worried about doing my job and getting open and making my plays when they come my way. I don't hate a little bit of a selfish wide receiver. I think there's a reason why everyone's like, oh, all wide receivers are divas. I'm like, are all wide receivers divas or just the ones that make it to the NFL? There's a lot of nice guy wide receivers in high school and college. You know what they end up doing in the NFL? Playing defensive back. It's the wide receivers that bring a little extra gusto.